Hello and welcome to Talking with Famous People. I am very much surprised and delighted to have a brief 15-minute or so interview before I run off to work. I came on here to demonstrate how to join a GoToMeeting meeting and was pleasantly surprised by casual INTP and now Margie's arrival as well. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to ask casual INTP who's from a part of the world which I'm very unfamiliar but sounds very cool and exotic, which is Casablanca. First of all, casual INTP, are you aware of the American movie called Casablanca?
Yes, but I've never seen it.
Have you ever
I know
seen
there
it?
is a movie that it was out like in the 60s, I think.
I think it was older than that. 40s, late 40s, early 50s. It's an old
Uh,
movie.
um, yeah, but I've never seen it though.
Yeah, I think I saw it a long time ago. But most Americans are at least familiar with the movie, and that's kind of our vision of Casablanca, which is kind of a debauchery-filled place. In other words, there's lots of sleazy bars and stuff like that, and it's kind of a freewheeling place. I get the sense it's probably um, a regular nice city, not what I envisioned from late '40s American film. Uh, but can you tell me a little bit about, I guess, the city as it currently stands? Is it a large city? Does it have a lot of large population?
Yeah, it has. I think it has the largest population of Morocco. The city is actually the economical capital of the country. So I think it's the biggest.
What does Morocco produce? Does it produce a lot of exports?
Yeah, I don't think that much. I don't think it does produce much. Maybe. I honestly don't know.
Is Morocco
It
Morocco's not?
has.
Is it an island? Morocco? No, it's not an island,
Oh
is it?
man, it's not an island.
No. Is
It's in North Africa.
North Africa. So is it next to Egypt
Yeah.
or what?
No, Egypt is in the northeast. Morocco is the extreme west, northwest. You
Oh,
know how
okay.
Spain, where Spain is?
Where what?
Spain.
Yeah,
Spain is in Europe,
yeah,
in like South Europe, the bottom, in
yeah,
the west.
yeah,
And there is the Mediterranean Sea.
yeah.
And there is Africa, and Morocco is in the top.
Uh huh.
Actually, if you're in Tangier, which is the farthest north of the country, you can see Spain.
Really? See,
Yeah.
according to
And
according to my mental image of maps, you should be closer to the bottom of the boot of Italy than to Spain. But I probably just have my
uh,
map. My map image is not very good, I guess.
no, the country that's closest to the Italy's boot is Libya, I think. Yeah,
Hmm.
Libya. And then next to it, on its left, I mean on its west, there's Tunis. I don't know the name in English. Tunisia or something like
Tunisia,
that. Then
yeah,
Algeria.
and
Then
Algeria.
Algeria. Then Morocco.
Now was and Morocco was possessed by the French like Algeria was for a while.
Yeah, it was under protectorate. I don't know what it's called. It's it's technically not an invasion, as it was like an assistant to to become more developed or something like that.
Hmm.
It was it. Uh, what is it? I forgot it.
What kind of government does Morocco have?
Morocco actually is a monarchy,
A monarchy.
uh, parliamentary monarchy. It's like not.
Do you have a king?
There is parliament and there is actually today is there are the elections.
Okay.
Elections. The, the thing.
They elect
What
a.
is it?
I'm sure they don't elect the king, right? Who do they elect?
No. The very next person. They call it here the head of the government.
Okay, interesting. And do you
It's
feel as though the
the
elections
ruling party.
are the elections free and fair?
Yeah, actually, I think they are. But all the people who run for that thing are like the same bullshit. So whichever you pick is gonna be an idiot. So it doesn't matter who do you pick. But I think actually they are honest in the results.
Do you have a full-time job?
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
I just graduated last year and I still didn't get a job.
Are you planning on staying in Morocco now that you graduated from college for the rest of your adult life?
I don't know honestly. I don't know. I think I think it's the best place for me to live. It's like I might visit some other countries, but I don't think I will stay there forever. I'll always have to come back here. I like it here.
Well, maybe someday I'll visit Morocco. And if I do, I promise I'll be very respectful. Anyway, uh, so do you know what field you're looking to get a job in, or do you have professional ambitions or anything like that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know, to be honest.
It's quite a bit more east, Margie. I don't think I'm going to be able to drive it. Uh, do you have ambitions regarding family? Would you like to have a what? Do you have a wife? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have kids? Anything like that?
I don't have any of that. I don't think I don't actually want to have kids. Maybe have a wife, maybe not. I don't really. It's not interesting for me. It's just to me, it's just trouble. Having a kid is very time consuming. Kids are annoying actually.
You'll
They
want
need
one when you're
to
35.
what?
You'll want one when you're 35.
Probably. But I don't know. Right now, I don't want. Like if I think about the future like that, I always say that I will never have a kid
What
or
about
will
a
never get
dog?
married.
You want a dog?
I actually want a cat. I don't
Want a
like
cat?
dogs.
I have both. Cats are great. My cat is so great. I've really been appreciating my cat lately. She brings a lot of socialization to me. She's very sociable. She comes up and
Mhm.
she expresses herself to me all the time. So I like that. She's a lot of cats are kind of distant, but my cat's very friendly.
Yeah, that's what I like about them.
You like
It's like
the
they
distance or
don't
the
they don't
friendliness?
the distance.
Ah,
The
okay.
fact that they're distant because like they don't need attention 24/7 like a dog. I think they do. They act by themselves. They think for themselves. Dog actually just wait for you to tell them what to do, stuff like that.
Well, my dog's pretty independent, but I will say last night I felt really guilty because I went out and played poker last night, and I lost again. So I'm not gonna play at poker anymore. 'Cause at this point, if I keep playing poker, it's gonna start getting expensive, and then I don't want that to happen. So um, anyway, I went to play poker last night, and when I got in the car, as she always does, she walks me to my car, and I thought to
Mhm.
myself, I'm gonna check when I get back tonight because I'm afraid she's not gonna go back in the house right now, even though it's like midnight. She's gonna sit out here on the driveway waiting for me to get back. Because usually when I drive in the driveway, she's waiting for me on the driveway, which is
Mhm.
or near the driveway. Like, she's got a spot that she sits over there in front of the neighbor's house, and she's got a spot she sits over here. She's not pinned in at all, so she can go wherever she wants. Anyway, then I I came back from poker like at 4 in the morning or 3:30 in the morning, and she was sitting there waiting for me. And I felt really guilty because, oh my God, you've been sitting. But see, she's got thick fur. Sometimes she doesn't seem to get cold at all. Like Lacey used to freeze to death shit with the slightest hint of cold. But Compton's pretty rough and tumble. But still, I felt really bad. It makes me feel like I need to stay home now and stay inside if it's late. Because I don't want her to have to sit out in the dark and the cold. But she probably doesn't think of it like that. But, off
Yeah.
topic. Let me get back to asking you questions. How about that?
Okay.
So, what are you interested in the MBTI modeling stuff or what?
Yeah, I'm actually interested in everything related to to personalities and human traits and stuff like that. It's actually like I found that it's the only thing that you'll never get bored of is trying to figure out how people think, how the human brain operates. because you'll never be able to.
Right. Consciousness is it, it defies our conquering it. Right. We're never gonna we to the extent that we think we understand it, it will metacognate itself into something more complex. It's
Mm.
it's infinitely fluid and adaptable, so it's impossible for us to box it. You know, stick it in a box and make it stay put, like science wants to. But you can't.
Yeah.
Do you favor socionics or MBTI's approach, or do you draw a distinction?
Actually, I don't know much about socionics. I just started learning about the Jungian psychology and cognitive functions a few months now. So I'm just getting a little bit deeper into MBTI before I start learning about socionics. I didn't want to do so I don't get confused or something because I don't know how. I don't know. I just want to start do like MBTI first, then move to socionics.
Do you have a sense of how you, as an INTP, use introverted intuition? It would be in your sixth slot according to MBTI, unconscious or unvalued. Uh, it's not something that
Mhm.
you have a. It's not something that I would expect an INTP or anybody who has it on the shadow functions to have a very clear understanding of. But I'm curious if you have any thoughts about how you, as an INTP, uh, interact with your sixth slot NI.
Actually, I don't know how. I can say how it works like in real life, but I don't know how it does how I'm going to explain it through the lens of MBTI because I don't know what the sixth slot is.
Well, what?
But I can
Okay,
tell you like,
let me give
huh?
you
Go
one more
ahead.
piece of information so that before you answer, then, which is
Mhm.
one of the core things. My MBTI says your first four functions, the ones in your conscious stack, are ones that you're aware of and value and can actively choose to use or not to use. And that the other
Yeah.
ones on the back side of the stack, they're the opposites. So like your first function is TI, your first shadow function is TE. Your second function is NE, extroverted intuition. Your second shadow function is introverted intuition. So I'm asking you,
Yes.
and for me, my second shadow function is extroverted thinking, which is kind of like a step by step, explain things, get people to get stuff accomplished, protocols kind of a thing. I'm pretty good at it, but it's not valued or conscious for me. So I'm curious when I talk to INTPs to find out if their relationship with their introverted intuition is similar to my relationship with my extroverted thinking.
Yeah, I think it's quite developed. Like I have it, and it's how to say that. Like it doesn't matter what it says. It always has to go through GI. Like the NI says something, or say, I should do this or I should do this, but it always has to go through TI before I do it. But the only time I do exactly or what NI says without going back to TI is like it's just feeling adventurous or something. But usually it gets things quite right, I think.
Well, you've got me thinking right now with this. It's interesting what you're saying that there's an order of operations can go a couple different ways. You could go, depending on how quick the NI is, and depending on how many possibilities. For me, I'll roll in with a set of possibilities. It could either go NE, NI, TI. So in that case, it's like, here's the possibilities. Oh, this is the best one. Let me check to make sure it is. Or it could go, here's the possibilities. Let me think to try to figure out what NI is going to tell me, which is much more common for me, right? I try to deduce the best one because NI is not
Yeah.
producing anything, and I'm not habitually in valuing and conscious of that process of knowing which is best. So I don't necessarily know which is best. So instead, I have to try to deduce it, or use TI to help me, or FE to help me. And those things are designed to help me figure out the NI truth that don't have natural access to. Sometimes in certain things that I'm super well practiced, like music, NI will be close to real time for me, as it is when I'm freestyling songs. And in that case, I don't know. It's a unique set of circumstances. It's like a parlor trick that I learned that allowed me to, as long as I'm doing that parlor trick, run NI real time. But
Yeah.
but that's again, I won't even adjudicate whether I used it right until afterwards with the TI, and it has to really, I have to really be in the flow of doing it to make that happen. So you're saying no matter what the order is, TI is the final adjudicator on the matter, which makes sense since it's your judging function, your dominant function. Do you ever consciously prioritize something other than TI in making a decision?
Yeah, I do, but not as much as TI is preferred. It's like I say, well, I didn't give a chance to this or testing. Let's do it once, let's do it twice. You know, sometimes you just like get bored of doing the same thing, so you
Totally.
give a chance to something else. Yeah. About the NI thing is like it's weird how it gets you get like these hunches, but and they're like I get this idea or something that it's generated by NI, right? And then I say, I don't know, man. I have to check with TI. And when I do, I find that what NI said is actually right or true. And when that happens next time, I will go again. I will do again the same steps. I will ask TI again and find that NI was right. And no matter how many times that happens, it's like I can never trust it,
You can. You
even
can learn
though.
to. You can learn to. My INTP friend Matt is the only other person I know who successfully can do what I can also do, which is make up songs that actually sound like decent songs on the fly. Words, melody, chords, and lyrics all at once, made up out of whole cloth while you're doing it. That is learning to trust NE, which he has successfully done. It's possible. You can learn to prioritize NE, but you have to have a setup like that you don't. It's there are time pressures that force you to act before you can check. Right. That's the only way to do that. You have to sort of artificially constrict yourself in that way. I think that's my theory. Anyway.
If I don't know, I mean, in music I can improvise quite well, but I don't know. I mean, I play guitar, and most of the time I just improvise. I rarely compose something. I just
Okay.
strum a few chords, record them, and then improvise over them. And I
See,
don't think much about it.
you don't right. You don't think much about it, but that's NI. The fact that you're choosing, if you're choosing well, it's NI. If you're indulging in your NETI combo, you'll make weird art music or like proggy, complicated music. INTPs tend to do that. but
Yeah, I try to shred and play fast and sweep and things like that.
all right. So
But I
I
don't
mean, the thing is, introverted intuition
know.
is a simple chord progression with a simple, sweet melody and some simple, sweet words. And
And and and also I think if I'm using NI, I can't replay what I just played, the melody. I mean, I play cool melody, but then I can play it again. I don't know how it happened.
you got to
So I guess
record
that
it.
was
You got to
NI.
record it and relearn it. I have the same situation, right? Any freestyle song, I record them because then I have to go back and learn how to play the song I just played.
Yeah,
Sometimes it takes
I
a
do
long
that
time.
at work sometimes.
All right, look, unfortunately, I would love to continue this conversation differently. I really do have to go to work. Margie, would you like to chime in with the last comments of the day on this video before I leave for work here? Or would you like to chat in? If you don't want to chime in, you could chat in. You've already indicated that I should continue east after hitting Detroit, but you have a formal goodbye for the assembled peoples. I, Margie, wish you adieu or something. Wish you good day. I bid you good day. Thank you, Margie. Have a nice work time, she says to me, but she's directing it to every single one of you in every single bit of work you do in life. Remember, if you just add a little bit more cheese, the work completes itself. Thanks for watching Talking with Famous People.